Alright, gang. I got a couple minutes, so I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna jump right into it. So, what this one's about is it's like, do you tell people that you fight? And I would be asking that question towards anybody that actively trains. You don't have to be an active competitor or anything, but whether you're in boxing, jiu-jitsu, I feel like really though, it's probably going to be more on the mixed martial arts side of things. You know, do you tell your peers and coworkers and friends and stuff and people that you meet that this is your hobby and this is what you love to do? To answer it for myself, yeah, I tell everybody, and it's usually something you're finding out within about 5 minutes of interacting with me. Like if we're casually just getting to talk, and yeah, I'm out of nowhere, I'm gonna be like, I'm obsessed with fighting, and they're gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna do my whole spill on how I use the word fighting specifically to try to change the connotation of it. When someone who doesn't train or anything, you hear the word fighting, it can kind of seem negative or confrontational. And I explained to him, I was like, I use the word fighting the same way someone who plays basketball might say they want to go hoop or they want to go ball. A football player might say ball too. You get the idea of it. But I'm able to elaborate a little more. I say fighting because I do MMA, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai. It's all of it. So fighting kind of encompasses it all. And I'm sure you can tell by my demeanor right now, it's not threatening. Like there's nothing, I'm not trying to intimidate anybody with this. Probably within about 5 minutes of me explaining the fighting thing, I'm going to invite them to come fight. And then I'm going to explain how they're not going to get hurt training with me. Now I bring all this up because, I mean, if I know 100 people in MMA, 99 of them tell me that they don't tell people they do this. I think the very first time with my old coach, it was like, it blew my mind when he told me he didn't do this. And I've ran into people saying it would affect their divorce. Like, so like someone's going through a divorce and they're dealing with custody of a child. And they were saying it would be used. I've had people just saying it could affect them getting hired into their position. And then I guess just being judged. They think, I don't get it at all. So if you're one of those people, please feel free to comment. I make these videos, I like to talk. But my number one thing is I want to have a discussion with somebody. Like, share your ideas, and just because we disagree does not mean that someone's idea is wrong. But I can tell you, at my last interview, it wasn't for like a new job. It was for like, I guess, a promotion in a way. I sort of shifted spots within my employer. I told him all about it. I told him all about fighting. I'm able to do it a little different because of the way I tie in safety. But fighting's literally changed how I look at life, and it's made me a much happier person. So there's not any negatives with it. So as I'm sitting here talking about all this, and I'm talking about the positives that I have in interactions, I feel like if you, and I could be wrong because I can't put myself in someone else's shoes completely. If you're someone who feels uncomfortable with telling people that you fight and you train, and whether you're a competitor or you just train or just a hobby you're really into, you don't have the right perspective yet if you're getting negative reactions from people. And I'm going to use an example of someone. You'll have to forgive my language, but there's this one jackass in my town, and for the longest time I've turned the other cheek. I've handled him in rounds. There's this one jackass in my town. He's gonna brag and talk about how tough he is, and when you go to practice, he's on the sidelines the whole time. If you were trying to utilize, let me think of how to word this. If you are presenting fighting as a challenging, macho, I'm a tough guy thing, you're not comfortable in the sport, and you're not a true martial artist. Like, if it feels to you to fight, you haven't turned that corner yet, and you don't understand the art side of martial arts. I don't know quite how to word that. But, all right, let me get back on track. If you're having negative reactions to people when you tell them that you're fighting, it's probably something that you are saying. Like, you're coming off aggressive, or you're coming off like you're tough or something. I don't get it, because it's never, I've told over 1,000 people that I've never had a negative reaction. In fact, I would say 20 to 40% typically say they want to get involved with it then, and that they're going to hit me up. And then like 1% of them actually want to come practice and put the work in. But you get the idea. I've made more friends and connections than anything off of explaining fighting and teaching fighting than anything else. I just don't get it. I don't get why someone wouldn't share something that they're so in love with. Like, at least with me, like, I love fighting. I'm halfway through my 12-hour shift, and I'm probably spent 4 hours while I'm working just thinking about fighting stuff, whether it's the upcoming Sandhagen fight, whether it's footwork I was doing with Gavin last week, whether it's getting a hold of D to see if he wants to come train this weekend. I don't know. It's just something there, and I don't know. Feel free to share your comments. Like, I would love to know, if you train or if you actively compete, do you share that with people? I feel like it might be a little easier, like, if someone only does jiu-jitsu. I feel like it would be easier for them to explain it. No, it's probably in the same thing, because I know people that only do boxing, and then they don't tell people. And a lot of people would say that the person they tell them then challenges them. If that is happening, there's something in the conversation that's really jacked up. I have never once had a person want to challenge me when I knew what I was talking about, because I guess because it's apparent. Like, it's apparent that I know what I'm saying and everything. I don't know. But maybe when you're matter-of-facting people, like, the quickest way to get me fired up in that sense is, like, you're going to tell me how things are. Like, you're going to say, oh, when you train, you have to, like that jackass in my town. He'll say, remember I went to the sparring session where he was going to be at, and he's like, well, make sure you bring your cup and your mouth guard and bite down, because they go hard. And it wasn't. And I don't think he sparred the entire time I was there. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I think these people unconsciously are so insecure that they give off something that's not inviting to the sport. Sorry, I kind of bounced around on this, but in summary, if you're just tuning into my channel or whatever, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just make videos because I like to talk. I love fighting. But my overall goal in life right now is to grow fighting, like grow fighting as a sport. I came up with it illegal, completely illegal. I couldn't even do the things I'm doing now. Like, I train and I teach, and none of this existed back when I was a kid. It's all changed within the past 20 years. And so now I'm trying to normalize it, just like basketball and football. So I conversate about it a lot. So I bring to you, if you train or if you compete, do you tell your peers? Like, do you, obviously don't walk up to someone and say, hi, my name's Justin and I love fighting. Okay, I do that, but I'm weird. But, like, do you guys tell your friends about it? Or if you don't train and you have a friend that trains, do they talk about it with you, or do they kind of keep it secret? Like, I know it's not the same, but like maybe like a war veteran or something. I just don't get it. But yeah, I got a bunch of views on one video out of nowhere the other day about Dana's health, and that was cool. Hope y'all keep watching. And I got a bunch of comments too, so that was great. Like, I love talking and conversating. Feel free to comment any questions or opinions you have. I got a shirt on this time, so leave me alone about that. And yeah, it's the War Lab. Big time players make big time plays, and we do big things every round, baby.